What did Allah create first, the heavens or the earth? According to Surah 2.
Okay, I will explain these verses which David Wood thinks that it is contradiction in the Holy Quran. And like what I usually said in my previous videos, if you don't have the knowledge of the Quran, which is the tafsir of the Quran, there is no way you'll be able to interpret the Holy Quran. And that is where David Wood is lacking. He lacked the knowledge of the Holy Quran. That is, he lacked the knowledge of tafsir, which is the interpretation of the Quran. He only interprets it according to what he sees as the translation of the Quranic verses. Now let's see the real interpretation of these verses which he mentioned in his video and said it is contradiction in the Holy Quran. Now according to the tafsir of these verses in the Holy Quran, it shows that the earth was created before the heavens. After the earth was created, then the seven heavens was created, then followed by the spread out of the earth. Now let me explain it further. In Surah Al-Baqarah chapter 2 verse 29, Allah said, هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا ثم استوى إلى السماء فسواهن سبع سماوات وهو بكل شيء عليم. Allah said, He is the one who created everything in the earth for you. Then He turned towards the heaven, forming it into seven heavens, and He has perfect knowledge of all things. If you take a look at this verse critically, you will understand that the earth was created before the heavens, because Allah said He created everything in the earth, then He turned towards the heavens. Then that was included here means after the earth was created, then He turned towards the heaven, forming it into seven heavens. That means the heavens was only created after the earth has been created, because Allah said, then He created the seven heavens. But as for the spreading out of the earth, this happens after the seven heavens has been created, because we can see this in Surah Al-Nazi'at chapter 79 verse 27 to 30, where Allah said, أَأَنْتُمْ أَشَدُّ خَلْقًا أَمِ السَّمَاء بَنَاهَا. This means which is harder to create, you or the sky? The sky also means the heaven. He built it. So now here Allah is talking about the heavens and how He created it. In verse 28 of this same chapter, Allah said, رَفَعَ سَمْكَهَا فَسَوَّاهَا, raising it high and forming it flawlessly. Then in verse 29, Allah said, وَأَغْطَشَ لَيْلَهَا وَأَخْرَجَ دُحَاهَا, He dimmed its night and brought forth its daylight. Then after explaining the creation of the heavens, Allah said in verse 30, وَالْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ دَحَاهَا, which means as for the earth, He spread it out as well. That means after the creation of the heavens, He spread the earth out. But Allah didn't stop there either. He continued to explain how He spread the earth out. He said, أَخْرَجَ مِنْهَا مَاءَهَا وَمَرْعَاهَا, which means bringing it forth its water and pasture. That means Allah tells us how the water and the pasture came about. And then Allah continued by saying, وَالْجِبَالَ أَرْسَاهَا, and setting the mountains firmly upon it. And also Allah explains the reason why He spread the earth out. Allah said in verse 33, مَتَاعًا لَكُمْ وَلِأَنْعَامِكُمْ, He said that all this as a means of sustenance for you and your animals. So we can see the explanation of these verses here, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the earth first, then before the seven heavens, and then He spread the earth out by bringing forth its water and pastures, and also setting its mountains firmly upon it. The prominent tafsir scholars had also explained all this in their interpretation of the Holy Quran. Like in Ibn Kathir's explanation of these verses in his tafsir, we can see it here in Ibn Kathir. If we move down directly to where he explained these verses, where the earth was created followed by the heavens, you will see that he said, here Ibn Kathir said that this ayat, which is the verses, indicates that Allah started creation by creating the earth, then He made heaven into seven heavens. He said this is how building usually starts, with the lower floors first and then the top floors. Then if we move down a bit, we will see his explanation of how the earth was spread out. That is how the earth was spread out after the heavens was created. He said Sahih Bukhari record that Ibn Abbas was questioned about this matter. He said that the earth was created before the heaven, and the earth was spread out only after the creation of the heavens. This is the explanation of Ibn Kathir in his tafsir. In the interpretation of these verses, we can also check the explanation concerning this matter in Ma'ariful Quran. If we check the Ma'ariful Quran, which is knowing Quran, and we move down directly to the explanation of these verses, verse 29 shows that the earth was created before the skies, which is the heavens, as indicated by the words thumma, which is then. Because of this thumma, which means then in the verse, this then indicates that the earth was created before the heavens. And he said But another verse of the Holy Quran seems to be saying the opposite, which is the verse in Quran 79 verse 30, where it says, وَالْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ دَحَاهَا, meaning he spread out the earth after this, which is in Quran 79 verse 30. Then it continued by saying, it does not necessarily mean that the earth was created after the skies, which is the heaven. What it actually implies is that although the earth had already been created when the skies came into being, yet a final shape was given to it after the creation of the skies. This is exactly the interpretation of these verses concerning the creation of the heaven and earth, which David Wood thinks it's a contradiction in the Holy Quran.